Thank you for tuning in with us every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. About our host, Carlotta Taylor is not just a survivor of child abuse, but has grown into what we come to know as our personal thriver against all odds, who no longer flinches at adversity but overcomes with authority. Carlotta decided to find the courage to say yes to herself. Miss Taylor has piece by piece faced her biggest adversary, the brokenness, and healed not only herself but has also affected thousands through her outreach and influence. Carlotta Taylor is the author of the best-selling book No More Flinching. Getting to the heart of the matter has always been what Carlotta is about. To keep in touch, text Carlotta to 888-111. It's time for the show to begin. It wouldn't be the same without you, because this is the place people bond worldwide, sharing powerful stories, prevailing over adversity. The heart of the matter is the people's joy. Now, turn your attention to our host, Carlotta Taylor, as the show begins.
Wow. Let's see. Hopefully, there they are. Wow. Talk about overcoming adversity. We have been attempting to get this show started 30 minutes before 8. But when I tell you, Ken and Vickie are some troopers. Their patience is unmatched. Anybody else would have said, you know what, let's just call it a day. But do you see what time it is? It is 9:32, and here we are getting ready to get to the heart of the matter with Kenny and Vickie Lewis. And man, they have inspired me. Okay. All we've been doing is laughing and keep on pressing on. But without further ado, I want to ask this question to each of you today. What does getting to the heart of the matter mean to you? Okay, it seems like I'm not hearing you all. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear them, because I'm not hearing you, Vickie. You
It's
coming, you
like
kind of
getting
coming
to the
in and
root
out.
of the tree.
There you go.
Maybe speak up.
Can you hear me? You all can
Can you
hear
hear
me.
us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. So getting to the heart of the matter to me is like getting to the root of the tree.
Yes.
So a lot of times
Yes.
people attack or people recognize symptoms, but they never realize um, what the root cause of um, the symptoms or the root cause of the fruit. So you're not going to get, but because an apple seed is at the root. So getting to the heart of the matter, a lot of times people can easily
It seemed like
recognize,
you're coming in and out.
um,
I see Shanetta is
but we fail to.
try again.
It's like it's symbolic to figuring out the root of the tree.
Yeah, so Shanetta said that the volume is going
So
in and out. The volume is going in and out. So I don't know why that would be. If y'all have any devices, if you would turn your devices, like your cell phone or anything, you already killed the Wi-Fi. Oh wow, y'all already ahead of the game, and it's still messing up. Now, I see Shanetta Crystal is on. Hello, Shanetta. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in to the show, and thank you for you all who are streaming in, listening from YouTube. If you would let me know, can you hear me good? Shanetta Crystal, let me know if you can hear me, and then let me know if you can hear the Lewises, please, because we've been going through this round for over an hour and a half, but it's okay.
And we're not going to give up.
No, we're not giving up.
Oh, so you coming in good now. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Okay. Um, so Vickie, you're answering the question, what does getting to the heart of the matter mean to you? Give us tell us one more time.
Sure. So the heart of the matter to me is symbolic to the root of the tree. You can a lot of times we can identify the fruit, but the fruit is times we pay attention to people's behavior or to the responses, but we don't understand um, the um, the root cause of what's happening with someone. So getting to the heart of the matter um, is like getting recognized of the tree because every other part of the body.
Okay. She took it all the way deep, talking about trees and things of that
Yeah.
nature. I love that. I wasn't able to capture everything you said, Vickie, but I get the gist of it. I like the depthness. I actually shared a piece of your story earlier today, when I was doing a live earlier today. Kenny, if you would answer the same question, what does getting to the heart of the matter mean to you?
It's a place of maturity to me. So often we a subjective uh, conclusion to it, but most of the time we really have to dig deeper to really figure out why a person act the way they act, figure out why this situation is going the way it's going. And as Vickie has said, so beautifully, that getting to the bottom of who they are or why they act the way they do.
Okay, I like that. Once again, it was going in and out for a second, but I like the way you complimented what Vickie said, and you kind of took it in another direction. So thank you all for that very much. Can y'all hear me good still? Y'all can hear me? You all can hear me? Okay, great.
Yes.
All right. So let's tap into the childhood development. And the reason why we always go to childhood development because it's so key and essential to adult life. So many people, some people have had some really good upbringings, and some people have not, unfortunately, like myself. Okay. And neither the case, it's very, very important to try to go into the depthness of that, to talk about that. If it was great, it gives us an idea of how things kind of pan out in the future. People, it doesn't matter really what you went through. You can go through a hard life and have a really good outcome later on in life, or you can have a horrible outcome in life. It's really up to the person and their perception. But I always like to just roll it out, just to see. So if you can still hear me, if you would, just take us back to your childhood life. How was life for you? You can just sum it up in your own words. Whoever wants to go first, but let me just do this. Let Vickie go first.
Sure. My childhood was um, it depends on it depends on the perspective of the person who's looking in. So for me, my childhood was I came out of a pretty rough community, and we had a lot of fights. Uh, it didn't appear to have a lot of stability. Um, but in that same community, how we all looked out for one another, and how we learned to love each other, and how we were not so busy comparing ourselves to one another because all of us had little to nothing, but we learned to love each other we were not judgmental toward each other. We just loved each other in our flaws. So where one was weak, the other one was strong. So our community, um, outside, were afraid to come in and mess up because they knew that if you came, you got off our street.
All right. I like that. I love the fact that you're just, so open to share about the adversities and, you had some tough times, but there was still cohesiveness and love and protection and unity. So that is really, really great. Ken, I guess if you would answer the same question, like take us back to childhood. Tell us about any type of adversities that you remember in childhood and how life was for you as well.
Okay, well, Vickie and I were totally different. Uh, my childhood was I came up with my dad and my mom and my siblings. We came up in a community. We always had a sense of love. We weren't rich by financially, but we had so much love in uh, her circle was uh, any extracurricular activities. There was no support, little to none support, and it kind of goes back to where you started. I knew what it felt like to have the support, and I embraced it. She knew what it felt like not to have the support, and she her children the way she would and supported our children in any and everything that they do, even today.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you for that feedback. Once again, I'm like trying to read your lips at the same time because it's coming in, it's going out. We're just gonna have to push through. I see we got some listeners, some Heart of the Matter fans who are out there just holding on with this interview, and we really appreciate you. We can still get the value and the content from what you're saying because it's like it'll come in, come out a little bit. We're just gonna keep it going. All right. So we talked about childhood. You had two different upbringings, but yet it's still a positive outcome. And that's what I really love about you, our story. So just fast forward us up until about, let's say late teenage years, kind of college years. How were those? How were those years playing out and rolling out from you all? You had different backgrounds. Any adversities in your late teens, early 20s, college years, things of that nature?
Yes, I'll answer that question. Uh, During my teen years, you got to realize I really physically, I was a small guy in the community. Matter of fact, I got picked over all the time. I was the last person they would pick on the football team, last person they would pick on the basketball. And I had a self esteem issue. Uh, I was very critical of myself. I was very critical of other people. I criticized other people criticizing me. And it was up until like my ninth grade year that I actually embraced who I was. I embraced, I mean, I truly embraced that my dad was dark complected. I truly embraced the community I came out of. And I appreciated who I was and who I second guessed everything that I had, everything about me I doubted myself, and I always thought other people were better than me, not because of what my parents or my siblings said, but it was something internal that motivated me to not like myself.
Wow.
So I started growing physically. Is when I really started growing spiritually in a summer, and grew exponentially. My lackness of myself, and when I began to lack myself more, then I started to lack other
Wow.
people more. Ms. Franks, is this is people, they really, people that don't like you, it's not that they really don't like you, it's really they don't like themselves,
You
because you
preaching now.
can't embrace me if you don't embrace yourself.
Wow.
So sixth grade up to ninth grade, I didn't like who Kenny was. I didn't have, and Miss Crystal said, I didn't have self-love.
Mm.
So on the opposite, on the opposite side of this, um, we were survivors. Um, I had confidence, and I really didn't care what people thought about me, right? But it, but there was a fine line even with the confidence, because being overconfident sometimes will lead you to a place of disrespect.
Mm.
So, um, so I found myself in my teenage years, because of the not really respecting the um, people's parents, being disrespectful to the coaches. Can't nobody tell me what to do. It make you think that you're driving your own ship, so you don't need anybody's help, because you just you've learned how to figure it out, and you are not open to
Mm.
other people's opinion. Um, so it led me through my teenage years to a place of I would just call it disrespectful.
Mm.
Simply
Mm.
because um, I don't want to say I messy adults. So the word of God says you have to bend the tree while it's tender, because when it becomes an oak tree, you can't bend it. So later on in life, because the adults were so disrespectful and so messy
Mm.
at an early age, you didn't respect adults who were not disrespectful and messy, because you just kind of categorize all of your own group, and that was all we needed. And we wasn't really open, or just say I. So it led me to a place of disrespect. So it's one thing to not be controlled by what, it's like, okay, so you say, I don't care what people think about me, right? But you
Right.
really should care about what people think about you. You just shouldn't be controlled by what people
Mm.
think about you.
That's right.
So I had to find the balance to where, but just not to be controlled by what people thought.
Oh, that I just love the transparency, because when Kenny talks about how he lacked self-love and the thoughts that he thought about himself, even though
Tried to
he
do his
went
short version.
and grew up in a loving, caring family, he still dealt with thoughts that came from inside. See, most people will have the perception that, okay, if you come up in a loving, caring family, oh, you will not have any problems. That's why I always like to go back to childhood because that's not always the case, right? And
That's why.
Vickie, with your transparency about growing up, having what you needed, but at the same time forming some mindset of disrespectfulness, maybe it was just your way of protecting yourself. I don't know what to call it, but just saying that used to be me. Yeah, just saying that used to be me. And I know we could have a more fluid conversation if our words were coming in right on time, but there's a little delay. We're just pressing our way through it. Listen, y'all, this is what Getting to the Heart of the Matter is all about. I just want to say thank you again to those of you who are staying in there right there with us, because Vickie and Kenny, they are really sharing some good stuff. Like, that's right. Shanetta Crystal said that's good stuff right there. Absolutely. So thank you for bearing with us. And we're just going to press through because we've been holding on and it's all about overcoming. So we're going to keep it going. All right. So now let's fast forward to life, because I know that you all are doing some amazing things in the community. You had some things you had to overcome in life, and now I know that I heard Kenny. I was able to hear this. He tapped in and said something about when he started becoming more spiritual and allowing God to come in. That's when things started panning out right. And I know you all, if I'm not mistaken, you all are in ministry. So you can share with us how you all got into ministry, and you had this mindset, but you found God, and now your life started turning around. Tell us about that.
Good. And let me say this. Later on in life, after maturing, I realized that my struggles, my internal struggles, were literally God. Uh, Everything that I went through was getting me ready for ministry,
Mm-hmm.
even though I had no kind of getting me ready for this
Yeah.
particular day, for this particular time. And um, of course, I ran. God was just great in my life, even in high school. When I played football, I was very successful. Players on the team, even there. Uh, and I mean, down to the fact of the point of 15 tackles and 2 interceptions, God, in this game. And I would get that 15 tackles and 2 interceptions and be the national player of the week and all that kind of stuff.
Whoa.
And in God would just do stuff that Vickie was talking about. It wasn't cockiness, it was confidence.
Come on now.
Because if I had gone through this humility, God destroyed the cockiness when I was a tender church full of ourselves. And God knew that for such a time as this, He was sending. We do ministry together with counseling married couples and men and women, but other people start gravitating toward me. Well, of course, I didn't get the big head, and people would listen to me, and I would always have people's attention. Wilderness when I didn't even have a mind to call out His name.
Right.
So ministry to me when I got saved, I will never forget it. 1999. The 2 years resolution is save me. I really didn't mean to do. And God pushed a faith forward button on my life. I preached my first sermon on Mother's Day. In 2001, I preached my give me a chance to go back. Now being translated by the Spirit of God.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. I'm hearing in and out, but I just checked on my phone and I'm seeing it's coming through clear
It's my
on
turn.
there, but for some reason here it's coming through like but it's okay. Because we're just gonna press on. I don't know why it's messing up, but let's just keep it going. Thank you for the feedback. It sounded like he was preaching over there. I'm in and I'm trying to, read the lips and like, okay. But it seemed like some fire coming from over that side. We're just gonna keep on going because obviously we have people killing it in the comments saying it was confidence. Yes, amazing, simply amazing. So I know you're saying some really good stuff. All right. All right. So now we talked about the God aspect and how you really went in there. So talk about what you're doing now in the community, because last I checked, you all was just doing it. And the last time the conversation I had with you, Vickie, I thought you was talking about the community center, and I know you are in ministry and newly appointed judge. Let's talk about some of that good stuff, because it doesn't matter where you come from in life. Doesn't matter what kind of childhood you had, as long as you can tap in, allow God to come in and fix your heart and fix your mind, and you have a mindset to change, anything is possible. It's all about overcoming that adversity. So catch us up to speed. Let us know what you're doing in the community. Congratulations again to you all with your judge status, and tell us how that's going and everything.
Amen. It's going great. The trip has been seamless. It's the heart of the matter.
Yes.
That has prepared me for being a judge. Never even talked about being a judge. But when you are flowing in the Spirit of God, there are places God can take you that your mind can't even take itself. There's places God can take us if we would just flow with God, that entered into our hearts. But God know that if He can trust me, if He can trust me in the wilderness, that he can put me on a platform, and whatever platform he puts me on, I'm gonna give him praise. So he knows that I'm a change agent. I'm a change agent by heart. Because the heart of the matter is, it's all about him and not about me. And I'm just grateful that I get the opportunity to minister to many, and I definitely take it for granted. Look up to me because of where I can have comfort, like I was as a young boy.
Amen.
I'm glad that God, as I grew in stature, God allowed exponentially grow in spirit. So when my spirit, my statue, I understood what the heart of the matter was. Why I came the way I came. That's why I treat people like I do, because I understand that we want to stay content with what God is doing in our lives. We have a ministry where we nationally counsel married couples. We nationally counsel. I counsel men. She counsels women, young and old. Uh, we are part of a leadership team. Reader Flowwood, Miss. Where we minister the gospel to the congregation there.
Yeah. And we're also a part of a ministry team in Tylertown, Mississippi.
In Tylertown, Apostle Clay. We minister there. If it sounds like relationship with our God. We just happy that he chose us. We're just happy that we didn't deserve this. We're just happy that in course for such a time as this, my head, that we decided one day that for me and our house,
Yes.
we're going
to with us. Our motto, the name God gave us in ministry is Kingdom Advancement. I believe now, in my growing up, poor people that I love, who was in ministry, drugs, you know. Really not to just be your counselors. We want to be your friends. And then we want to introduce you to our friend, who's a friend.
the people on Facebook, everybody to think that process and the head of that process. But we understand that strength.
Right.
The other thing is this: as we release that strength upon other brothers and sisters that may be struggling. Life, I could tell you real clear, but I really was freed. I've been lied on. Those struggles praise the Lord. No, we struggle. We for same ones that was trying to hold something back from me was you can't do nothing to me without it going across my God's desk. He just set me up to bless me.
That's right.
I could tell you about the time that my daughter was in the Miss Clinton pageant, and she got second place, but God told her that she was first place, and how 3 days later, never in the history of the Clinton beauty pageant, the one that got the crown stated that she didn't want the crown. And my baby was crowned Miss Clinton, first African American Miss Clinton. I could tell you about that.
That was after the girl told Kendra that she felt like she really won.
Exactly. I could tell you about my daughter's record a few months ago, when she was thrown out of her car in the middle of I-55 with a broken pelvic bone. And she began to pray and ask God to cover her. And how an off-duty state trooper shows up out of the blue and covers her with his car to keep anybody from running over her. And I could tell you this also, that she's fully recovered.
Woo.
Ain't talking to me. He was deemed blind, but God touched this woman named Dr. Lenoir that diagnosis and got these contacts. And now my son see 2020. Y'all ain't
Come
talking to
on
me.
now.
But God had got us ready for these days. Way back when we were young. We almost, and now he's placing us into him General's office. And I told him I was going to run for alderman at large. You'll never be hired with the AG's office. And I didn't have a job. But for 7 months, we paid more tax in those 7 months than we did in 20 years. I can tell y'all some of this stuff. We're not mad on where we come from. We're actually excited to where God is taking us.
Yeah, God gave me a word Monday night, and He said, "How you mourn for Saul?" He said, "Because I have already selected somebody else to be king." He was still hanging around mourning for Saul. So all the things that we experience, all the adversities that we have experienced in life are our Sauls. But the Lord is telling you, like He told us, can't continue to mourn for us because we're still living.
Come on.
So we're not going to continue to mourn for Saul because God Himself has moved on.
Yes.
And it's time for Samuel to come to Jesse's house to anoint David to be the king of Israel. So even in all the adversity that we have gone through, and we have gone, but our adversities are Saul. And
Yes.
God say it's time, but we're going to move on because it's time for another king to be anointed. It's time for us to walk in the purpose that God has called us to walk in, using the things that we experienced in our past life, not as a stumbling block, but as a stepping stone that's going to take us higher and take us to a higher place that we will be able to achieve the purpose that God has put us here for. I say it again. Why do you continue to mourn for Saul? I need you to go to Jesse's house. I need you to anoint me a king that's after my heart, that's gonna move out in the purpose that I have called him to move out in. And that's where God wants us to be, not staying in those places, not being stuck in those places, but to step on those places. Come on.
He wants a servant that has the heart of the matter.
Come on. That's what He wants, because He said, David. Experience adversities? Of course not. But even the things that we experience, these are the symptoms. But the heart of the matter is that we have a heart to be able to walk in the purpose that God has called us to walk in. Yes. And these adversities are the things that push us to the right place. So I thank God for the adversities that we experience. And I thank God for the adversities that we're going to experience in the future.
Yes. I really just want to say thank you all for sharing. I do not Listen, I had about a good 15 seconds of good audio, and I know it was so good. And I was like, come on, audio. But it's going in and out for back and forth. But I got 15 good seconds straight, and I was like, wow. But obviously, people are able to still get what you all are saying. What I want you all to do now, I want you all to share with how can people plug in and get your services that you offer. Let them know how they can plug in to, if they want to get the mentorship and counseling through you all. And also, if you can just share one tip in less than 5 minutes, whatever's on your heart to share with people who, maybe grew up and had some adversities that you had, but if they can look at your life and say, wow, you have a successful marriage, you're in ministry, and you're just living the life, you still got some things coming your way as you just described, but you just trust and believe that God's going to work it out. And you walk around with no fear. And that's what I really see when I hear you all's story. You just say no fear, trust God, period. And God just works it out. And I thank you for sharing your story today. But once again, just give me one thing you want to say to those people who may be listening and don't know how they're going to make it through. And then make sure you let us know how people can tap in and get your services.
It is. We all go through things. And we have to understand the heart of the matter. First of all, know that God is not your enemy. Uh, but God is trying to put you in a place or give you a platform to give him praise, where other people can be uplifted. To say this today, I'm the only Bible that most people will ever see. Now, which Bible are you teaching? Because we're being read every day. So we have a Zoom account. I know my wife would give like some phone number.
Just Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook is probably the best way to contact us.
Yes, Facebook. You can contact us on Facebook.
We're trying to do Instagram. We kind of moved a little too slow. So we're working on that.
And
But Facebook is
yes. Hit us up on Facebook, Kenny Lewis, Vickie Lewis. And glad with it.
My word for the hour. There is no fear in love.
Yes.
Fear is not made perfect in love. So that's in any relationship that you're in. In your
Yes.
marriage, you'll have a successful marriage when you get rid of fear. Children, with your children, even with your boss, any whatever relationship that you love without fear,
Mm.
you'll get from that relationship when you learn. In our 7th year of marriage, we decided that we would love without fear.
That's
The
so
word of God
beautiful.
says you have to love man, but trust God.
Yes.
Gave
I like
both of
that.
us a freedom.
Man, y'all, I believe you stopped talking, but I just want to say y'all are one of my favorite couples. I love the way you all represent God and how you all are y'all just doing it. Y'all are the example. And thank you for sharing your story today. I believe they said that you can tap in and plug into their services by way of Facebook, comment section, DMs, hit them up if you need coaching or mentorship or counseling, and definitely we gotta come check out your ministry because I definitely want to hear that. I only heard about 20% of the show. However, I was still able to get some good takeaways. It's just I'm over here like I know it's good, but we're gonna have to have you all back really soon with some good, clear audio because we cannot let this, go for now. We got to get this out. Your story is impeccable, incredible, and thank you for just pushing through. Just the fact that we sat here and worked through this even with troubled audio, and the fact that it took an hour and a half to just come on the live. I don't know why, but what the takeaway is that you all are in it for the long haul. You are true overcomers. You could have gave up and waved the white flag a long time ago, as it said, let's try again and cancel later or whatever. But y'all stuck through there. And I just feel like that is a perfect example in itself. And I just want to thank you all again. Got to have you all back sooner than soon. I'm thinking before the year is out, if it's okay with you all, because we got to get this right here. It needs to be heard. And I'm currently in a new studio in a new place. The Heart of the Matter show is supposed to be connecting with Legacy Talk Radio. So I'm really excited about that. But we gotta figure out what's going on with the connection. Because yeah, gotta have good connection. But hey, it is what it is. Thank you all for coming on again. And we're gonna go ahead and close it down for today. What a special different kind of show. But hey, it's okay. We worked through it. So I just want to say thank you all once again, and you all have a great night. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in to The Heart of the Matter. If you would like to sponsor an episode or be a guest on the show, email theheartofthemattershow@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday for another amazing episode.